Here is a look at your gap and go trades for the week of July 7th through the 11th. I will go over price targets on the 5-minute time frame, have a gap recap from June 30th through the July 3rd, and update the chart as well. Hi everyone, it's Dow on the Dow. First up is Intel. We ended the week at $22.49, up 2.79%. This is where we are. To the north side takes us to one level of resistance and a potential take profit area at 22.91. Above that, at 3 standard deviations, 23.26. And at 4 SD, that would be 23.58. This is another level of resistance and a potential take profit area and a potential sell limit area. To the south side takes us to the median, and that is now 22.25. And this is where we are. If we hit this line and go down, I will anticipate a bounce off of that line. And below that, at -2 standard deviations, takes us to a level we've been to in 2024. All the yellow horizontal lines are when I track this in 2024. So we're just going back to that level, and that is 21.57. There's a gap here that begins at roughly 21.32 and closes out at -3 SD at 21.24. That's support. And if we get from here to here, I will also anticipate a bounce off of that. And this level takes us to 20.90. This is an area we've been to before as well. We keep bouncing in this range, back in this range over and over again. We either flush and then get back up, after we get back up, we flush back down. Yeah, just choppy over here. We can't seem to break through and then just run and stay up. That's what we need to do. But check out all the gaps to the south side. And this gap here is still in play. That will take us down to roughly 21.89. Let me change the color to denote a gap to the south side in red. And there is a gap here that is still in play. Again, I have no idea where it will touch. I just know that it still exists, and eventually there's a possibility it could reverse price and just go down and close it out, which will most likely happen. This thing is not done going down. But hopefully on Monday, now that the big, beautiful bill is done with and passed, that the market will run. And I can't stand it. I'm on vacation right now, but I hear snippets of people who obviously hate Trump, and they call it the so-called bill. Why are you calling it the so-called bill? It is the actual name of the bill. If you don't like it, then that's something else. But the actual name of the bill is the big, beautiful bill. All right. And I also heard just recently that Elon is announcing another political party. And I think that is fabulous. All right. I'm fiscally conservative when it comes to spending other people's money and wasting money. So I have no problems cutting back in expenses. All right. I do that in my own world, and I don't expect people to pay for my way, and we should not be wasting money, spending money we don't have. All right. I digress. Okay, so you can see all the gaps to the downside here as well. And let's talk about the potential to go to the upside. We have a massive gap that has yet to fill. I've been talking about it for weeks and weeks and weeks, and that will take us to 29.03. That's the last gap I'm tracking because that's the gap I started with when I saw it tank, and that's why it made it on my gap and go trades. I've whittled this down to I think 8 now, but over the last several years, that has been whittled down to like about 20. But I'm not going to do this segment probably anymore after all of these close out. So I'm just curious when it's going to close out. And that's why I follow it. Okay, the next one's going to be SOFI. We are at 1857, and to the north side, resistance, one level of resistance and a potential take profit area. This is a sell, sell, sell zone. If you are day trading or trying to figure out a spot to get out. And also obviously check the RSI. Different time frames give you different buy and sell signals. Above that, 1947, I'm going to start blazing through here. 1988, the middle of the trend and the baseline is now, oops. Let me take that back to Thursday since Friday was the 4th of July. And that is right there, 1821. Previously, a long time ago, it was 1809. Look at how many weeks and weeks I've had to go back. Oh, there. It started right there the week of Monday, the 27th of January. That was the middle of the trend. Because it's so close and I really don't need it, I just do it for people who, oh, here's my public service announcement. These people need to go. My God. Okay. I digress. So I will, oh, I accidentally did, oh, it's right here. It's too close. Don't care about it. All right, to the south side. It would just take us back to an area we've been that I've marked out, 1736, 1696, and 1654. We have finally started to rock and roll with SOFI. It was also range bound for the longest time in that $14, $15 range, and finally we've broken free. But when a ticker goes up quickly, there's downside action ahead also, and that is right here. That will take us down to 1726. This gap is still in play as well. And oh, let me mark out this. I was going to do a thumbnail with this ticker and I didn't, so let me put this back right there. And then there's another, is there another one missing? No, just got to clean this up. Looks like this is a wide gap, but that's because that was a short week, I think. All right, I have to go back and look. And we have other gaps to the downside here that have not closed. And this is the middle of the trend and support. Last week we were here, so you can see we've gone up with the median. And that, from median to median, is up 4.71%. But last week, when I talked about price, we were here. And from here to here, that's a 9.3% return in 1 week. Fantabulous. All right, that's it. Let me go on to the next one. So again, watch out for the gaps to the downside, but I will let you know if we reverse to go down that way, because that would just make sense. But right now we are in an upward channel still on the 5. Boeing up 1.83%. This is where we are. Resistance 217.23, 219.13, 220.97. The middle of the trend is now for the week right here, roughly 213.44. Last week we were here and we are here now. But by the end of the week, the middle of the trend could land at 218.99, 222.78, 224.78, and let me move this down. That could land at 226.65. And to the south side here, 209.55, 207.65, and 205.76. We have gaps to the south side. Oops, Command Z on a Mac. And down here, 199.21. Okay, looking left, you can see this is a clear area of support and a buy-in. This is a buy-in, buy-in, and a buy-in. And typically it will not go past 4. If it goes back past 4, it's a wick usually, and then you can see that it gets bought right up. And this is resistance on the way up. It turns into resistance, and now we are falling down, and that is support, and boom, up to this level, the next level. I'm tracking, grinding along the line, and then making our way up to resistance, and then falling back down. This is support, busted through, landed on a previous middle of the trend. That turns into support, boom. Many levels of support and resistance in between. If you're new to trading, it gets confusing, but you'll see it as you look at things and chart every single day. You have to do a little bit every single day. Read charts 5 to 10 minutes a day, and you will thank your future self for doing that. Here's support and a bounce. Resistance, didn't quite make it. Support, resistance. You have to get through this middle of the trend. If you're up here, price will tend to go down because this is the natural resting place for price to go, and then from up here to here. The middle of the trend or the baseline is a neutral zone. Let's see, that is it. Resistance. And oh, we have a gap to the north side at 222-ish. It's really more like 222.46, not 66. It's a little off. Here, let me just move it over here. There, or 44. I'll have to go back and change the other ones because I am off a little bit. All right, what else? We had many tickers this week hit record highs. All right, and then after that, what else? What else is after that? Is there anything after that? Oh, that might, I wonder if that's the last one I'm tracking. But if it does hit it, I will let you know and then do an individual review of this ticker. But watch out for the landmines to the south side. RIVN. Up next, Command R to reset this. Let's make this a little bit bigger. All right. Resistance, 1336, 1353, and back to an area we've already been, 1368. The middle of the trend and support, one level of support, right there. Right. Potential buy-in areas, potential stop-loss area, 1272, another stop-loss area, 1256, and another stop-loss area, 1240. Looking left, support, a bounce, resistance, a sell-off. Note the wick that took us there. This gap, oh, it touched. Oh. This touched, so that's no longer in play. I did not mark that out because I have been busy checking out my rental, so I have no time here, but this I must do because I want to complete this and get this out of off my plate. 1285 to the south side, so watch out for that. Still in play. And what else is happening? This gap opened up. This is a gap to the upside, so nice to see. We are still in a downward pattern on RIVN, but hopefully, once again, that we will correct ourselves and go to the upside. But notice how it tickled here. This is support and a bounce off that line. And then we have another gap to the upside here at 1417. Not in the channel, not in the zone, not even close, just something to be aware of. And then we have another one down here. I hear fireworks still popping off.